Hey guys, welcome back to my watercolor channel, and today I have another bird to be painted. It is the common seagull, so that's quite, as the name says, quite common in many parts of Europe, but as well here as in Finland. And usually we see them during the summertime because especially in the north they are migrating from the north towards the south or even south coast of Finland, but further away from here because the seas get frozen, so there isn't much food to be found as such. But I will tell you more about it later on. Now I focus a little bit on the painting. I use a high quality paper, so it's 100% of cotton, and I start with the background because I wanted to have it quite blurry. So I wetted the upper half of the paper, not the seagull, and added there some of the cobalt blue as well as some of the indigo blue and some orange, which I made of a deep yellow, and some of the cadmium red. The reason why is because I will use those colors as well onto the bird, so I want to have a really nice balance here. But now I focus on the seal itself. I have made the drawing, the sketch before, so it's really necessary to have, and I use basically the same colors now I have used for the background, so having some of the cobalt blue as well as of the indigo blue mixed together, and I added as the first a layer onto the back of the seagull, so kind of creating a roundness. Then adding still with a big brush, very dark layer out of cobalt blue and indigo blue, so it contains a lot of pigments and the colors of the paint of the indigo blue is really strong onto the tail of the seagull, so feather tails, so it really, there's a really nice contrast. I continue to work with it, and I have added some nice color underneath, and I play around a little bit with the blue colors and the orange. The paper is partly still wet, so it's really nice mixing together. But I add the feet, so it's characteristic for those seagulls to have this kind of greenish colors under the feet, and I added to the orange a little bit of the blue, so it kind of really olive green. Then I wait till everything has dried. I focus on the top of the wings, so it's really, I don't want to add too many details, and it's rather abstract, so the point is really just to emphasize the shape of the wings or of the back of the seagull. Then adding here a little bit, which is to the side dark colors, and then more lighter colors to the top. But now continue with the head and around the neck, so I wetted this area because I don't want it to be too strong in color, especially as this area is more naturally white, and by adding the water it kind of gives a bit of freedom to play around with the colors, and if it feels wrong that it doesn't fit the shape, then just take it off. What I like to do is to add some salt, so I added some salt a little bit to the background and around the shape of the seagull around the back. And I just continue then with the eye and the beak, so I have added some orange there and just a nice blue to the eye, which I will talking later on, but I want to have a little bit more of different colors in the eye. Now it's just really focusing after having a nice break, focusing onto the details. So I look where are the single feathers. I use a really light layer of the blue, adding darker colors, which is the segregation between the wing and the belly. But I try not to overdo it too much, like adding too much of a darker colors, but it's kind of like really important, I think, if you want to add contrast. So it's kind of to have a look where is the contrast onto the bird or in overall painting. So I emphasize some of the feathers, but not too much, so try not to overdo it. And then adding different colors as well to the beak as well as to the feet. So it's the same colors that I have used before, but it's just a different layer, a little bit stronger than the first one, but it still kind of like really pops up nicely. Then adding more of darker pigments to the eye, so it's basically just adding either indigo blue or some of the Payne's gray if you feel like it, to see what fits nicely here. Then I check from the reference picture what are the characteristics of the bird, what needs to be emphasized, and how does it fit with the overall painting. And then as well adding a little bit of a dark color or even darker orange, which is slightly mixed with the blue, to the different areas of the bird, so it really kind of like gives a nice contrast. So a little bit at the top, some of the darker orange, green, blue paint. So I really try to use up the colors that I have used before and mixing them together to get not such bright colors, because they're quite important. I have added some cadmium red around the eye, as well as adding a bit of the belly. And the reason why is that it's quite characteristic for this seagull to have this reddish color around the eye, but not adding too much that it takes too much attention. Now working basically with the background as well, so it's kind of emphasizing the shape of the seagull as a whole, but I didn't want to have the background too empty, so I just add like a very abstract grass there, and very light in color and fast with a big brush, so it's got a bit of a flat wash, it's not too many hard edges, but it's just kind of like really light in color, and the reason is that I don't want to take away too much attention from the bird. If you feel like that the bird or the shape of the bird, it needs more of a touch of a different layer, so I felt that it needed, and adding the very light blue, as well as emphasizing a little bit the background, and so the whiteness of the bird comes more, it's more emphasized, as well as a bit on the head, but then continue with the beak. So adding more of the orange there, and it's slightly mixing with the background, so it really, I like it when the colors of the objects are flowing together with the background. I thought that the seagull needs a bit of a shadow underneath, and emphasizing the feet as well, so give another touch of layer of a dark color, and then emphasizing the beak, so stronger orange because it went quite weak in color, and more of the cadmium red, as well as adding more of a dark color onto the eye. But the reflection really needs to remain in the eye, so it kind of gives the liveliness to the bird. And some darker touches to the feathers and underneath. And that was it. That was a really fast painting. So thank you for watching and remember to subscribe. Bye.